Yet, well, it's not half the time you have the phone up ready to go.
I missed the button.
What?
I missed the button.
Oh, somebody's tired, somebody's sunburned, somebody's grouchy.
Somebody still has to go get gas.
How well? You should have gone already.
Eh.
Anyway, welcome back. We had our first race since the wreck. Car's back together. Car ran really good. We made some setup changes on it. Went out and practice.
In the first round.
First round, we set our fastest lap. Ever in either car.
13783.
And we were very happy with it, and was being cautious all day long because I didn't want to wreck the car again. And you know, karma goes as it goes, because the first round of practice, the two cars that were involved in a wreck that caused me to wreck were in my practice round, and then they were in my heat, and I was around them all day in the feature. So first round went good, second round was good, car felt really good, more stable than we ever had it. Running good consistent laps, got into my heat, supposed to start fourth, started third because somebody went to the back. We only had 25 cars, again, only had 25 cars, which is short of what we normally have.
This is the first time since we've participated that we had less than a full race, like a full feature.
Full field for racing.
For
So
the
pretty
feature,
much
yeah.
everybody made the feature. So I started third. Things got a little dicey in the beginning of the heat race. I kind of like just say, well, I'm not going to be a part of this craziness since we all make the feature. So I kind of fell back and just let everybody try to wreck themselves. Even the race director came over the radio and said, listen guys, everybody makes the feature.
As Michael Metcalf and Joseph Jr. will lead us down.
kind of like to calm us down a little bit. So I started third, finished 8th or whatever. So I started tail end on in the feature.
Quite literally last.
Last car. I'm like, listen, not that I was scared to race these guys. I was just in a little bit of fog, lack of sleep, allergies. Just wasn't like clearly focused on what I was doing. So I just kind of like
Rode around for the day.
And again, people in front of me were trying to wreck themselves every turn. So you know what? I just kind of stayed out of it. Didn't go crazy. Passed a few cars. You know, car felt really good. Driver was not 100%. So, but yet not 100%. I still won my fastest lap times. So by myself, you know, in the clear. So we just kind of like rode around and brought the car home in one piece, shook it down, doing some maintenance. We have a quick turnaround because we will be racing on a Wednesday night this week.
When this video goes live, we'll be at the track.
So,
but it's not a double where it's like Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah, no, we're off next week for Labor Day weekend. Right in the feature, well, let's just say that the lead cars weren't catching me. You know, watch the race. Congrats to Anthony Marsh for winning the race. Put on one hell of a show.
Him and Kyle.
And Kyle and Davidowitz and Riley. Those guys are next level as far as driving talent and stuff like that. So we brought it home in 20th place. You know, did my laps. Car felt good. I was, you know, again, a little foggy from lack of sleep, putting the car back together and all this stuff. And after the hurricane came through, kicked up some crap in the air and wasn't foggy.
Is that what that cold like stint was?
Yeah, all that rain. That was from Hurricane Erin.
Huh.
It didn't hit landfall. It was just off in the ocean.
So we just got whatever dust it was carrying.
And wherever it brought it from, you can bring it back down there. But yeah, no, the car ran good. I was happy. The engine's running good. I felt comfortable driving it, you know, as far as, you know, we'll be having some new footage from our new pit gremlin, Joseph. So we'll have some more footage, I hope, to show you guys.
Hopefully, if not for this video, for the next, maybe not the Wednesday show.
Yeah, which he won't be there for, but we'll try to combine this into
but yeah, it's
a bigger
in the works.
So, just doing regular maintenance on the car, doing my bearings, cleaning up the tires, going over everything that we repaired, make sure nothing's falling apart. But again, thank you to George Tomko Racing, Anthony Marsh, Jaden, for helping out, doing what they had to do to help me get the car back on the track in a short turnaround. Even though it was 2 weeks, but it was a lot of work to be done.
Yes.
Can't thank everybody enough. All our sponsors, everybody helps out. They put us a little behind on our funds and stuff like that, so we'll see what we can do. As far as nothing has changed our plans for the rest of the season. But any upgrades that we're planning on the off season just take a little longer. Like every race car team, owner, participant, the unexpected
gravity check.
Gravity check, reality check, saying that it is an expensive sport.
Even
if you have these contacts and
even with Inex
well,
being the name, inexpensive, as Dennis said, inexpensive. Ha, yeah, right. Comparatively, it is.
It is.
I can repair this whole car for less than a tour mod engine. However,
you know, when you're on a budget and stuff like that.
I don't own a trucking company, so the wallet is not infinite.
So, but no, we'll be back out there. We'll race what we can. You know, I don't see anything keeping us from the races.
We'll be around.
But yeah, you know, like everybody else, you know, you can only race what your budget has. So we'll be out there. like you said, we made some setup changes. Car felt. I think we're getting it to where I'm super comfortable.
And can start pushing yourself.
Anthony was able to watch me one time when I was on the racetrack and realize how far the car rolls. So we're going with a different setup, same setup as far as the weights and all that stuff.
There's slight
everything else.
spring adjustments, right?
Because I am the 50 pounds heavier,
Because we have a whole extra cylinder.
and so he's tweaking the springs.
But at this point, we're fine tuning what that starting setup is. So.
Correct. So it's the same as far as angles and all that stuff. It's just the different springs that I might need because of the heavier car.
Yeah.
Which we're working out. And it for anybody who's getting into racing, everybody says, "Oh, I want to get into Legends, and I want to what's the setup to be competitive." It's different for every track, every type of situation at the track, temperature-wise and everything else, and your driving style.
Because it's even, you can have two people hop in identical cars, and one of them will love it and one of them will hate it.
So for anybody who wants to get into any type of racing, you have to learn to understand that you have to make changes in order to go faster. And it's never going to be always forward. You're going to make a change and you're going to go slower. That's a learning thing. Then you're saying, ooh, that didn't work. That's a learning point. So then you take that and put it in your notes saying, I did this and it did this.
Whether it did it too much or you had to actually go the other way.
So what? My advice now, again, I'm new to this. I'm not one of these guys who've been doing it for 40 years or stuff like that. I'm learning. We're learning. There's always somebody at the racetrack willing to help you or guide you in the right direction. They might not give you their setup because it took them years to get to it. And it cost them a lot of money in buying springs and this and that. So if you get into racing, we'll just talk about the Legends. Get in what you can afford. You're not going to go out there and buy, the fastest car, and then, I don't like this setup, and change it, and now you're mid-pack. Either you have to learn how to drive the car the way it was set up, or if you have previously driven, and you now have to change things to get the car to handle. That is called taking notes, learning, and the only way you're going to learn that is by making changes and document them, so then this way you know what worked, what didn't work. When you're at the top tier like Anthony Marsh, he goes every week is a different setup in his car. He doesn't change springs. He changes minor adjustments here and there. But when you're knowledgeable, whether you're changing the cross weight, rear weight, front weight,
even
side
just
weight,
air pressures,
whatever he changes, you have to understand he's got a notebook from making changes that did work and didn't work. Some of the guys goes, car's loose, I make this. Good, the car's fast again. If it's tight, they make this adjustment, and that's all that they do.
Those are the guys who have been driving since before they could walk.
Since their foot can actually touch a gas pedal somewhere. So again, if you're new into racing or Legends cars, you're going to spend money on springs, changes that you're going to go say, I run this spring and that spring. Well, you might not like that spring combination if you took it off of this guy's car, or the rear, or this or that. It's getting to you where you feel comfortable in the car and getting your speed out of it, what your driving styles are.
Don't be afraid to talk to people, and especially when you're starting out, if you need to hook up with an existing team,
you're going to pay.
Yeah,
you're going to pay for information.
Absolutely.
There's you see the guys online saying, I want $200 for my notebook. Well, that's justified because the guy spent probably $20,000 over the course of his career, changing springs and doing all of these fine-tune adjustments to get every ounce of speed out of the car, like packing wheel bearings, rear axle bearings, brake drag, brake bias. You know, all of these things take time and money and learning the yeses and nos.
A lot of it's trial and error.
And that's all it is, because you don't know what's going to fit your car compared to his car. They're not all the same.
No.
You know, it's just one of those things that people, you know, and I understand it, they want to be competitive right off the bat. Well, in racing, you have to work your way up to it. So just take that in sign, like, don't be afraid to make changes, because you can always go back. You know, you have
as
a
long
baseline.
as you've documented where it was.
Right. You make a baseline, and you have to understand that. Get a setup sheet. Write down what spring, what tire pressure, what ride height. And if you have access to scales, you have to scale the car, because these things are very finicky on crossway.
Mm-hmm.
And just get yourself a notebook and write notes down that you can read after the fact, go over it. There are plenty of guys online that you can post something, they will say DM me, because they don't want all the information on the web. They'll help you out. Again, it's going to cost money no matter what, whether you do it yourself with springs and scale weights and all of this stuff and all that stuff, or you're paying somebody to help me set up my car.
What we'll do in either an off week, most likely during the off season, when we have some dead time where we're not actively doing racing stuff, we'll sit down and we'll go through what we think is the important variables to pay attention to as you're building your notebook.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll make that a whole separate video.
We're not going to give away secrets. We're not going to give away setups.
We're not going to give you numbers, but these are the
we're
things to change.
But we're going to go to the basics of, you know, at the racetrack. What do you need to know about your car setup that can help you?
Yes, and
tire temperatures.
Yep.
Tire pressure buildup.
Which will all be explained in a future video.
Yes.
So this doesn't turn into a 25-minute video.
25-minute
ranting and raving, yes. Because otherwise we're both going to devolve into, no, English doesn't work anymore.
Yes, exactly.
So on that note.
We
had a good week.
We had a good weekend that we had speed in the car. Driver was subpar. Have a quick turnaround. We're going to race on Wednesday. Maybe if I get some sleep, maybe I'll have a better head on my shoulders to clear the cobwebs. And then we have an off weekend for Labor Day, and then it's going to be a full month in September.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, we'll check in again later. Peace out.